evening, race fans, and welcome to the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, where we get set to kick off round 1 of 18 in the first ever season of Short Track Thunder. Tonight's event is going to be very different compared to what is usually done throughout the iRacing service. It's not going to be one race, it's going to be 4. In total, there are about 7 total different series that are all going to be making 12 races over the course of 18 total events, with between 4 and 7 races a night. We wrap up at Martinsville, but tonight we kick things off here at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, and our first race of the night going to be the stock division for their 40-lap race. They're going to have a competition caution at lap 15 with 18 cars set in the field. Street stocks being used for this series, and when this one wraps on up, we are going to then roll straight through your season opener for pro late models. They'll have a 60-lap event before the stock truck cup of the super late model division have a pair of 80-lap races themselves. Only 4 divisions racing here tonight, but hey, sometimes good to start off slow and then slowly build into the more hectic series as the evening goes along. Qualifying has already been fully wrapped on up. So as the pace car gets set to roll off with your field here tonight, we're going to take a look at your official starting grid. Will Parrish is on pole position with Eric Monaco beside him on the front row. From there, it's Nathan Orman and Chris Harvey. And then you will have the likes of Mitchell Hodak and Chase Gaston on row number 3. Casey Wells and Trevor Carr are in 7th and 8th, with Alex Benoit and Daniel Reagan rounding out the top 10. Oscar Wilder and Colin Cropley are going to be on row number 6, with LJ Toledo, Michael Brown, Justin Lariah, Patrick Almendinger, Ben Cohen, and Jesse Gase rounding out the 18-car field here tonight from your stock division. It should be a very fantastic night of racing then as we get set to kick off a fantastic season. We're going to be racing into the evening. It is currently just a little ways past 6 o'clock. The lights will be flicking on over the National Fairgrounds Speedway before long, and we should be racing under the cover of darkness and the lights by the time we wrap this event up. So you can see the pace car leading them around for their second pace lap here tonight, and want to thank everybody for taking the time here to join us for what should be a very exciting opening round then for the street stock division. Coming around through turn numbers 3 and 4. And we're green flag racing here in the stock division. Parrish made the move early, tried to go outside of Chris Harvey for the lead. It was nothing doing, though. Chris Harvey leads the opening lap of your street stock division as Eric Monaco now tries to power back around the outside line, with Harvey holding on to the bottom. Eric Monaco in the 99 car up top. You've got the 12 on the bottom. Right behind them, it's Hodak and Carr side by side. Will Parrish starting to pull away here. We are already 38 laps to go, and that hits 25. We will be finding ourselves with our first yellow flag then of the night. Side by side and looking for 3, as that was Gaston that tried to throw it up the inside, and his Russ bucket machine down the front straightaway once again from Nashville Fairgrounds, and what has been already a very good start to this race. You can see them fanning out, using all of the track, trying to get as much speed as they possibly can in the run down to these corners. Eric Monaco, you see him exiting turn number 4. He's still up top, still losing ground and trying to hang on to whatever he can, but it is not an easy task. You can tell that 99 car really struggling right now as it continues to work the top side, going to pull around Casey Wells, who is still down low, but he's not able to fill the hole. now looking for 3. Once again, the 66 car of Chase Gaston to the inside. Make that the 65, but this time he is going to push it 3 wide. Out of turn 4, Monaco backs out from the top shelf, and he's going to make a spot up on Casey Wells down into turn numbers 1 and 2. Race leader Will Parrish has already pulled out a very, very big gap over this field as we continue to cycle our way through. And a lot of very close racing. We have not had a single lap where these guys have been single file. Monaco still losing time. You can see the number 10 car, a very interesting police car looking scheme of Oscar Wilder. He just made up a spot on the 34 car of Mitchell Hodak, bumping him back 1. The 30 of Casey Wells fighting it out with Monaco as well, down into turns 3 and 4. Behind them, you can see the 54 going at it with the 94 going at it with the 83. That's Michael Brown and LJ Toledo, both racing against each other. These are so far the closest fights that we have throughout this field. Looking on board, Mitchell Hodak as he currently runs in 9th place, trying to close up on Oscar Benoit, but Oscar Wilder wants to find a way through, up on the top shelf. But you can see just not able to make something happen in his number 10 car, and a bit of damage actually on the right side as well. So he's going to look to the inside here. You can just pull the outside so well. It can be so tricky to make up places when you're down at the inside, entering that low into these corners. The 30 car of Casey Wells under fire as well from the top end by Eric Monaco, but he's going to fend off that attack. While Alex Benoit looks to the outside in his Monster Energy number 68, but he is also going to be forced to yield. For the first time all day or all night long, we have just now single filed out almost at the competition caution marker. So we're going to be putting this race under frozen conditions in just a couple of moments here as race leader Will Parrish continues to work his way around very steadily. And as we hit 15 laps to go,
caution,
the yellow flag will fly.
What you got quickly?
So competition yellow has just waved over the Speedway, as now these guys will get the chance to rack them, stack them, and go at it again. No drivers, 1 lap downs. This should be a very quick yellow then. The number 7 car going to catch up to the iRacing Porsche 911 pace car, and he'll bring the field in tow. And you can see your running order throughout the entire field. We're under the yellow flag for the first time tonight. Going to take a quick step back, and we'll be back with the remainder of this street stock division race in just a moment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the Short Track Thunder, and for the season opener of the Street Stock Division under our competition caution, nobody has opted to come on down into pit road, so we get set to bring these guys closer up and fire them back out of a cannon. Up on the ticket, you can see the best lap so far today, and Will Parrish is the fast lap holder with a 20.564, and the closest driver was over a 10.5 back. So far it looks like nobody has even come close to matching the pace of that number 7 car. So it'll be a very, very difficult run for these guys if they want to try to get themselves sorted for a solid run further on down the line. In this 18-car field, it is about a second spread on best lap times from start to finish. But so far, it has been a very, very clean race. It's been a very uneventful race, which is exactly what you want to see in one of these races. You want to see the close action, which is what we have been seeing, but you also don't want to see a whole lot of wrecks. A little beating a bang in here, though, never hurt anyone. Looks like it'll be 19 laps to go when we take the green flag. Lights are out aboard the iRacing pace car, so these guys fan out and start to go double file. And we get set to do this all over again for another 19. Pace car is in. Here comes the number 7 into the restart zone. Green flag waves. We're back underway. And already the 12 of Chris Harvey has gotten clear of traffic. That's not something he was able to do earlier. We'll see what the 12 car will be able to do as he tries to run down your current race leader. Eric Monaco dropped back several spots on the initial start in this race. He is trying to stem the bleed as he is now on the inside for the first time all night long. There's the 26, Nathan Orman, looking around the outside of Gaston into turn 3. Gaston breaks way later, though, and that's actually going to put now the 25 under fire from Eric Monaco on the inside line. It looks like the field single filed out a lot quicker than they did the last time around. Now only the 34 car stuck out of line. That is Mitchell Hodak trying to not lose time, but he's going to be side by side with the 68 of Alex Benoit into turn 1, and he will lose the spot. He's going to get freight train here from the looks of things as Daniel Reagan in the 62 car wants to try to find some way through. Up in front, though, has not been the best of starts so far for Will Parrish. He's riding more than Chris Harvey right on the back end of that number 7 car and is really looking to try to find some way to get through. It's not a smooth track and mistakes can come frequently. You can see the bumpiness of these cars as they bounce up and down over these corners, especially on the exit, but you can also see some sparks flying up from the 7 car. That's where the front bumper is striking the ground. As we'll look to the back of Will Parrish, we actually might be able to see just that, the sparks flying. There you see the 96 and the 12 both hitting the ground, and that is what is causing some of the damage that we have been seeing on some of these cars so far throughout this race. The 96 car of Trevor Carr tried to find something around Chris Harvey. It didn't work out. Now he's falling back as the 65 of Gaston finds himself up into 3rd. Eric Monaco still running to the top 5, trying to find a hole as well around the Whataburger 96, but the 99 holding the inside line. And maintaining his composure excellently. You've got Nathan Orman in the mix as well in his McDonald's machine. And don't forget the police car chasing all of them down. Oscar Wilder, he wants to make a couple of arrests before this race is over. A lot of damage to the right front of that number 10 car, and you can definitely tell that would be from all the scrapes these cars have been doing on the ground. And a lot of these guys not looking terribly pretty with their machinery for the time being, and the number 10 is going to go through on the 96. He's going to make an effort to at least. Doesn't look like he'll get him here, though, as the 96 still on the outside line trying to break later, but now Wilder is fully through, and here comes then Casey Wells looking for the inside line. If he can find a hole, no he can't, and he's gonna back out. Up front, Monaco. Catch it up to Gaston and the dash down into turn number 1, and you can see Eric Monaco looking around a little bit, trying to find, again, a little bit of a hole. All he needs is one small opening, and he'll be fine. Trevor Carr to the inside of the number 10 of Oscar Wilder. We watch this battle on board with Casey Wells. With the final quarter of this race, less than 10 laps to go, Will Parrish now has a 1.4 second lead. A lunge there to the inside will give the spot potentially to Wells. No, it won't. Oscar Wilder fending him off from the top shelf here. But now he'll get through, as Oscar Wilder just could not fight that outside lane for too long. Side by side as we get to 5 laps to go. Behind them, Mitchell Hodak just made up a spot, or just lost spot to Alex Benoit, and we continue to be side by side with now 5 to go. This is one heck of a battle that's starting to shape up here as the 83 car is now in the mix, and he's getting impatient, wanting to find a way through, but Wilder is not going to go down easy here. It looks like the 30 car has found a way through in his Miller machine, and in fact he has. Finally clears off of turn 4. Chris Harvey under fire for second place as we hit 3 to go. Eric Monaco wanting to find a way to get through. Will he be given the bumper, though, is I think the question that's going to be on our minds here. Is we're now on the penultimate lap. And Will Parrish will round turns 3 and 4. He'll take the white flag this time by. He finishes the race under green. There's a lunge to the inside. Gaston trying to move his way up onto the podium positions here. We'll watch how that battle is going to shake up. Well, Will Parrish rounds turn number 2 for the final time, and here they come down the back straightaway. Gaston dead even with Monaco. You can see just in the background there. We're coming around off of the final corner, and it will be Will Parrish to take the race win. And the season over, Harvey's going to get there, and Eric Monaco will hang on there for the final podium position. Meanwhile, Daniel Reagan finds a way through as well in the last possible second. That was a pass for 13th. So with race number 1 and street stocks in the books, we'll take a look at your official post-race results here in just a moment. And there you have it. Will Parrish taking the race win over Chris Harvey, and that will leave Eric Monaco in third on the podium. Chase Gaston will take fourth with Nathan Norman in fifth. Trevor Carr was in sixth with Casey Wells in seventh. Oscar Wilder was eighth with LJ Toledo in ninth. Mitchell Hodak was in 10th. From there, you got Alex Benoit, Michael Brown, Daniel Reagan, Colin Cropley, Jesse Gase, and Justin Lariah with Patrick Allmendinger and Ben Cohen bringing up the rear of the field. So that will round out your first race here of Street Stocks, or the stock division for their season opener. And we're going to take a look now at the championship standings as well. It's pretty easy to see how that's going to shake up. It's just literally going to be what you got over there on the on your race results. But there's your championship standings. And while that might end one race, don't go away. The Pro Late Model Division will be coming up soon in just a few moments. We'll see you in a couple of minutes when the late models take it to the racetrack. Welcome back to Short Track Thunder as we continue on through tonight's program. We've got the Pro Late Model Division going to be coming on up next for you folks. And I tell you what, this is where it's all going to really get set to kick off here for the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. The speed gets louder, we get a little louder, and we are going to turn these laps a little bit quicker. 60 laps for your field tonight of 17 cars. Comp Yellow this time going to be at lap number 20. So with the field already fully set, going to take a look now at your starting grid. Casey Wells on pole position, just 0.05 of a second back is Carlos Montero, with Alex Benoit down in third in a dead tie for that second place. Mitchell Hodak sits in fourth with Eric Monaco in fifth. Nathan Norman sits in a very comfortable sixth place with Jeb Kenner in seventh. Jack Cooper is in eighth. Michael Brown sits ninth with Paul Bain down in 10th. LJ Toledo is 11th with Colin Cropley in 12th. Alan Tudor is 13th with Corey Rivers in 14th. Ben Cohen is in 15th with Edward Hillberry in 16th. And it's going to be Ross Smithley to round out your 17-car field in the Short Track Thunder Pro Late Model Division. Still warm as ever out there on the racetrack, 84 degrees Fahrenheit. in the air, 87 on the racetrack, just past half and past 6 p.m. as this field of 17 cars strong comes down through turn number 2 down the back straightaway. iRacing pace car going to be pulling in this time by iRacing starter has flag in hand. Green flags out. We're underway in the Pro Late Model Division. Casey Wells leads the first lap to green, and there's a bump there. The 70 of Jeb Kenner moving Mitchell Hodak up and out of the way. Wanted to find a way around the McDonald's machine, screaming to the inside in his Mopar Chevrolet, and he is going to go through as we cross over start-finish line. Already rounding lap number 3. Looking back to the 21 car of Nathan Orman trying to fend off Jack Cooper down on the bottom. So far, very solid race. Shake it up for us. And another lunge. Michael Brown making up a spot on the 71 car of Paul Bain, who is starting to slide backwards in this field. Meanwhile, you just saw Monaco lose a place on board with the gyro camera, which is inside the cockpits of these Chevrolet Monte Carlo SSs. We're on board with Paul Bain as he tries to fend off Toledo. Not going to do it. The 7 car gets through on the inside. You can see the 26 of Jack Cooper already through in front as well. And now, looking further up the field, Michael Brown outside line, trying to make something happen on the Waffle House Mustang down low. Can't get there. And up top for Nathan Orman, he'll look to get around Mitchell Hodak down to the turn numbers 3 and 4. Here comes the 26. Where did Jack Cooper come from as he lunges now for the inside line? Side-by-side battle, Dollar General versus Waffle House. Both Monte Carlo SS's side by side through turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Almost 3 wide behind is the Taco Bell machine. Driven by Toledo, finds his way up a couple of places. The 66 car also under fire. Corey Rivers trying to fend off Alan Tudor right behind and will successfully keep the 61 car at bay. Now looks to the outside. He's going to try to execute a pass on the number 7 car down the back straightaway. Beautifully executed from Corey Rivers. He goes from defense to offense. Now looking for the outside line. Can he take it down to the turn 1 here down the front straightaway? Don't think he's going to get that. In fact, he won't. A deeper lunge that time into the corner with the number 7. Sees the 66 car stuck a little bit further down the line for now. Paul Bain getting back past Nathan Orman up the inside of 3 and 4. Well, you've still got battles deep in the field here. Looking way back, one of the furthest battles down through order. Ben Cohen trying to go up against Ross Smithley here, or actually, he's trying to take the fight to Edward Hilberry. 57 car having trouble making moves though. Toledo starts to lose some ground again. He's already lost 3 spots a day. He's trying to see if he can make those back up, but he's having a rough time as Colin Cropley got up and by him. Further up the field, this is Eric Monaco right behind Alex Benoit. Wanted to find a hole and still have that 21 car trying to battle it out with the 71. Paul Bain and Nathan Orman side by side down the back straightaway into turn numbers 3 and 4. But looks like that 71 car has gotten all the speed needed to keep that 21 at bay for now. Eric Monaco still pressuring the 32 car, trying to make a move up to the third position up on the racetrack. And up there you can see the Hardee's machine of Casey Wells still clear by a couple of car lengths back from Carlos Montero, but not able to pull out nearly as big of a gap that Will Parrish did in the stock race. Outside line for the 14, Alex Benoit trying to fend off Monaco, and he just cuts the nose out of turn numbers 1 and 2, and here comes the 21 car. Make that the 61 on the attack. Alan Tudor wants to make up some more ground in his Aaron's Chevy Monte Carlo. And that's going to move the 21 car backwards as Nathan Orman finds himself on defense now after spending so much time trying to get around the 71 car. That's the way short track racing works. If you don't get around the guy in front of you, somebody's going to get around you instead. And now Alan Tudor working on the number 21 of Orman, and clears down the back or down the front straightaway. A little peek there that time from Monaco. He's going to go up to the top shelf and try to get through. We're coming up, though, to the end of this stage, though. Just going to be 2 more laps, I believe. And then we're going to be all wrapped up in the books for this first segment of the race as Monaco up top. Here comes the Mopar machine. Will he push it for 3? He's not going to. Jeb Kenner up on the inside, having a solid run of things. Right on board with Casey Wells. Through 3 and 4. And he will be your leader at the competition caution. Yellow flag out for the first time tonight here in your Pro Late Model division. One by one, drivers file up behind the iRacing pace car. Nobody went down a lap, which make this a relatively quick yellow. We're going to wait to see if anybody's going to come down pit road this time by, and I think we're going to get right back to it then. No takers to pit road. I'll make this now 2 laps to back to the green flag. Your running order throughout the top time was Wells, Montero, Benoit, Kenner held on for 4th. Monaco was in 5th. Hodak 6th. Cooper, Brown, Bain, and Tudor rounded up the field. We got a tie for the most spots gained so far between Jeb Kenner and Alan Tudor. Both those drivers are +3 where they started. They've run 3rd and 10th. The driver that's dropped the most, though, Nathan Orman, who has only gone backward from the start of this race. He's down 5 positions. Lights out upon the pace car. We go green flag racing this time by. Some really, really great racing there on the opening laps. And we're back to green. Early launch from Casey Wells. Sees the green flag back out in the air. On board with Benoit down to the turn number 1. And down the back straightaway, still side by side. The 32 car of Benoit really checking up these guys, though, as Z Montero and Wells pulling out a massive gap. The 32 car slowing everybody in this back down. The 14 car is going to be the first one to blink as he's going to look high to get around. 3 wide, deeper in the field as we're down towards turn numbers 3 and 4. Look at the 80 up top, the 7 on the bottom, the 60 in the middle. It's getting tight here at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Three-wide move as battles on for the race lead as well. Montero looking high, trying to get around Casey Wells side by side down the front straightaway, trying to find a way through, but it's going to have to be on the back straightaway, I think, when he takes the pass. If he wants to make this one on the outside line, and outside he will go. Tell you what, he is really trying here. The entire Pros 88 was done hanging around behind the 43 Hardee's machine. But he is not able to complete the pass, so 88 will tuck back in line. That's dragged in the rest of the field. Orman and Bain going at it again. That's going to allow Tudor and Hodak to get side by side down to the turn number 1. Big check up there for the 71 car. The 61 nearly running them over. We're now halfway. 30 down, 30 to go. See just how bumpy this race surface is with how much these cars are bouncing around as we look up to a more important battle as Monaco trying to fend off Kenner. Kenner now working to keep Cooper behind. A lot of shuffling going on in the mid pack so far as David Norman has only continued to slip back with the drop of the green flag. He is now down 2 as Hodak has lost now 7 positions. That XM Monte Carlo is really working that outside lane, and Monaco is going to go through into third place as he takes the pass from the outside of Alex Bennett. Benoit, perfectly executed pass off of 2. But look at how much of a gap that has allowed for Carlos Montero and Casey Wells to build on these guys. Counted almost 2 seconds. Make it a real challenge for anybody to contend with those drivers as they try to run down for the race lead. Look at this, the Mopar machine of Kenner on the move. Moving Alex Benoit up and out of the way, and now trying to finish it off in turn 1. He hasn't gotten there just yet, though. The 32 fighting back up on the top shelf. Benoit using all the track he can all the way up to the outside wall, allowing him to stay closer with the number 70 car on board. Look at the Mopar machine down low. He's not pushing up like he needs to if he wants to hang on to this spot unless he can get it here, and it looks like he has. Alex Benoit not going to be able to do anything about that one as they clear over turn number 2. Benoit not content to ride around in 5th place as he tries to reel in Jeb Kenner and re-pass him. We've also got Ormond in his own little scrap going on just behind them, and even deeper in this field, how about Michael Brown trying to get around Corey Rivers? They find themselves side by side down the front straightaway with the Taco Bell number 7 car of LJ Toledo right in front of them. 20 to go from Nashville. Finally, we single file out for the first time all night long in the Short Track Thunders Pro Late Model Division. Not for long. Cropley moving up high. Trying to set something up on Rivers down low, but he's actually going to end up under fire by a Hodag and will end up losing the place. '26 car looks low, dive bombs. Jack Cooper down into the corner. Benoit's going to lose out one spot, might lose out another if Nathan Orman gets his way. The Waffle House machine has finally broken clear of Paul Bain, and now he wants to make up one more. Can get a good entry into 1. He'll clear by the time they get off of 2. I got a good entry, but it was even better one for the 32. And now we're once again going to be side by side down the back straightaway. Casey Wells steadily losing ground to Carlos Montero, and this is going to get tight here. We're now in lap traffic, and Montero is ready to pounce. This is where it's all going to matter here. How do you handle the lappers? Up high for the 43. Will the 88 follow suit? No, he's not. He's going to get held up behind the 56 car. Now he's going to go high in 3 and 4, and he'll get by the time they get down to turn 1, but that has costed him about a quarter of a second up to Casey Wells. We'll look back to the closest battle in the field, which is the 32 trying to get up and around the 21. One will defend off 3 and 4 and run down to turn number 1. A late breaking move there for the 32 on entry. We'll see him try to reclaim 6th place, but looks like Ormond is going to be set in stone on that one for a little while longer. Give him credit, though. Benoit really does not want to let that spot go, as he has been trying to charge and take it from the drop of the green flag. Further behind them, you've got Tudor right behind Bain. Looks like he's trying to pressure the 71 car into a mistake, but so far Paul Bain has really been holding strong, hasn't really made any major mistakes thus far. As the top 2 still working through lap traffic, Casey Wells still making moves up on the top shelf, and hello, Montero gains a lot as the 57 car now. Ben Cohen is going to hold both of them up. 43 will dive to the bottom, and now that's going to leave Montero with nowhere to go. I think that might buy Montero, or it might buy Casey Wells the gap he needs to be able to take this win. With only 6 laps left, I don't think the 88 will be able to close that gap up in time. Bunch of cars scrapping for 10th place here, including Michael Brown, Toledo, Rivers, Hodak, and Cropley. All of these drivers in one long line down the front straightaway. Meanwhile, Jeb Kenner has been losing ground to Jack Cooper, as now they're the ones catching up to lap traffic, and once again, Cooper is going to be the one that gets held up. Seems like the driver that's out in front always has the easiest time getting around these this slower traffic here. You can see this battle still moving on further in the back as Hodak looks to the inside of Rivers, trying to go on the offensive into turn 1, but again, not able to fill the hole. Casey Wells, meanwhile, will come around turn number 4. He'll take the white flag, this time by final lap. Running through turns 1 and 2, Carlos Montero over a second behind. Not going to have enough time to make it happen. Casey Wells out of turn number 4. He'll come down and take victory in the Pro Late Model Division. So, with the first race of the Pro Late Model Division all wrapped up, looking at your official post-race results, which is how your championship standings for tonight are also going to shake up as well. Casey Wells and Carlos Montero finished just under a second apart, with Eric Monaco down in 3rd. Jeb Kenner was in 4th, with Jack Cooper in 5th. Alex Benoit was in 6th, with Nathan Orman in 7th. Paul Bain was 8th, Tudor in 9th. Michael Brown just snagged the top 10. In the dying lap. From there, it's LJ Toledo, Mitchell Hodak, Corey Rivers, and Colin Cropley as the last cars on the lead lap, with Ben Cohen, Edward Hilberry, and Ross Smithley all finishing laps down. Still got lots to come yet, as we are going to be rolling on through to the second half of tonight's event. It's time for the big guns, the Short Track Cup, going to be up in just a few minutes. we are back for more action here for the Short Track Thunder. We roll into our third of 4 races on the night. The Stock Truck Cup for their first season. It will be 80 races for 22 trucks, which I believe will probably be the largest field so far tonight. 3 different manufacturers, Chevrolet, Ford, and Toyota with the Silverado F-150 and the Tundra. Spaced out across these 22 racers are going to get set to do battle here around the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. If you're just joining us, welcome to the Short Track Thunder. You've missed an epic first couple of races with the stock division as well as the Pro Late Model Series. Now, the good thing about those races, they had the competition cautions. For these trucks, not so lucky. So they're going to have to rely solely on people wrecking if they want to find themselves with the yellow flag here tonight. So as we get set to kick things off, let's run down through your starting grid once more. And for the Stock Truck Cup, it is Shelby Little on pole position with Nathan Norman just 31,000 seconds behind. James Winterbottom sits in third with Ryder Chisholm down in fourth. Eric Monaco's in fifth with Jack Cooper in sixth. Stephen Colon is in seventh with Alex Benoit in eighth. Chris York is ninth. Mike Brown is in 10th. Mitchell O'Brien is 11th. Veronica Benke rounds out 12th place. Moving on down, you've got the likes of Mitchell Hodak with Donnie Kattenig, along with Ross McLeod and Cynthia Stone. Austin Wheeler sits in 17th with Colin Cropley at 18th. LJ Toledo sits 19th with Timothy Benning over half a second back and qualifying in 20th. Gordon Neufeld and Chris Baskerville take up the field for a 22 truck race. Pace car bringing the field down the back straightaway, and here tonight it should be a fantastic evening of racing as we look set to continue with our absolutely amazing racing that we have had so far tonight. Coming around 3 and 4, leaving in the hands of 1. Shelby Little, green flag drops, we're underway. Field is nice and tight out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Little leads the way from Ormond, from Winterbottom. From there, you've got Monaco, and then it's 5th place. Ryder Chisholm with Stephen Colon just behind. Do battling as they thunder down at the turn number 3 for the second time tonight. And 2 races tonight, we've had the pole sitter win the race in handsome fashion. We'll see if Shelby Little can continue that trend from the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. All 20 cars still side by side. You've got almost 3 wide. Looking forward as you ride aboard with Michael Brown. He tried for it down the front straightaway. It's Alex Benoit slipping backwards, though, in the Reese's number 59. '79. Stephen Colon working underneath Ryder Chisholm. Meanwhile, you've got Jack Cooper, Menards number 36, trying to find the inside line as well. Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway so far all night long has been a bottom line heavy racetrack. It's where most people have been making up moves. People have attempted from the outside. Usually not all that successful. You just get so much of a run around the inside on these corners. It usually doesn't pay off, but it looks like a couple of drivers are going to be making good use of that outside line today as the 13 of Ryder Chisholm continues trying to hang on ground. He just lost out to Jack Cooper, and now he's battling with Chris York in the run down in towards turn number 1 in the waste whip number 26 Ford F-150. Now, York is clear, and just there, Chisholm gets back in line. on board with Cynthia Stone in her Toyota Tundra, running 13th and trying to make a pass on Benoit around the outside line. You see her line X number 24. Pounding concrete down the back straightaway, pounding asphalt, I should say, down the back straightaway as we look set to continue our solid run. Shelby Little's DoorDash 47 Silverado going up against Nathan Orman's 48 car. Now Nathan Orman has been very quick so far all night long, and he's looking to see if he can pick up a win. Looking to the inside and lunging for the inside. Nathan Orman going for the race lead. Can he make it stick around the inside? No, he can't. Backs out down the back straightaway. And he will have to try that again another time. We're already 10 laps in the books. 70 to go. Behind them, the fight's on for third. Monaco pushes Winterbottom up towards the outside wall. Winterbottom hanging tough, though, in his Sirius XM Chevrolet. But it looks to me like Monaco will actually be able to make that pass finally stick down in turn number 1 this time by. Great pass there for the number 4 car. Made great use of that inside line. On the top of Nathan Orman's car. Gets the run of the back straightaway and looking to make this pass around the outside line into 1 and 2, but there's no room to make it happen. He's going to have to try again a different time, but he is really putting Little under some serious pressure here at the moment, which is exactly what you want to see in short track races like this. You want to really apply that pressure. Do not let your opponent breathe. Will no doubt soon be rewarded either with a mistake or by an actual overtake on track. They're already catching up to sub-lap traffic as well. Want to point out just up the road is Chris Baskerville running the very tail end of the field. He's just crossed the start-finish line now while your leaders are going through 3 and 4. There you see Baskerville going into turn 1. And with no yellow flags, this goes caution-free. This is going to grow to be a very lap traffic-heavy race. Deeper into the field to Michael Brown. 69 truck trying to make something up on Ryder Chisholm. Instead, he'll end up under fire by Mitchell O'Brien and Cynthia Stone. Stone still trying to find some extra pace. And Orman is through on Shelby Little. Made the pass happen at long last. Going to take a look at a replay of how this pass with the race lead came about. Got the run on the outside line out of turn 2, down the back straightaway, and just clear by the time they got down to turn number 3. Great overtake there for the lead. Now Orman's going to try to run away with it. Behind the 35 car, Mitchell O'Brien fending off Brown on the outside. You got Hodak also in the mix as well in the Dunder Mifflin 42 Ford F-150. So you say Mustang, we go car racing, but very much not the case here today. Shelby Little is continuing to lose some speed, has lost about 4/10 up to the Norman. Now you can see Monaco looking up high, and he wants to find a way to get through as well. And I think he's got this one around the outside of 3 and 4. Maybe he's still fighting it out though. Looks like this will be a battle that will be picking up for a little while now for your fight for second place on the racetrack. Monaco still up top. Trying to pin Little to the bottom, side by side, down the back straightaway. Poked ahead by the slimmest of margins, but Little was able to fight back. But it's a losing battle as this time Monaco was ahead by the time they got into turn 1. And as race leader David Orman catches up to lap traffic, Eric Monaco is looking to complete the pass on Shelby Little out of turn 4, down the front straightaway into 1. And just there, clears off of 2. Little's actually going to lose out to James Winterbottom as well, who was also trying to find a way through. So it looks like Shelby Little great in qualifying, but it might not be the best on the long run. We'll continue to keep our eyes on that as we get further and further into the season. Lap traffic isn't helping matters, though, and a lot of cars are going to get held up here on board with Winterbottom. And that is Chris Baskerville that they're trying to lap right now at the very tail end of this field, and this is going to really cause a bit of mayhem here as one by one these drivers are going to have to try to fight their way through. Amidst this, you got Winterbottom still fighting it out with Cologne's 79 truck on the bottom. Don't forget Jack Cooper's in the thick of this as well. And at the moment, that 79 car is getting really hemmed in there. These guys are just so much faster on the outside line that they are not able to. 15 is not able to come up to get out of the way, but Cologne's not able to get around the 15 on the bottom side. And just there, Cologne find a hole, but not before losing about 2 seconds total up to the race leader. On board with Timothy Benning down the front straightaway. In front of them, Veronica Benke and Alex Benoit battling it out for 15th on the racetrack. The 22 car looked high for a brief moment there. Now is going to go to the low side, potentially trying to defend now against Timothy Benning. You can see really trying to set up a pass around the outside line. Austin Wheeler also with the thick of things back there at the number 19. It's not often we get to look back at these battles a bit deeper in the field, but it's always great when we do get the opportunity. It shows there's action going on everywhere you look, but the action we need to be looking at is up front. Shelby Little and James Winterbottom fighting it out for the last podium position, along with the likes of Jack Cooper and Stephen Cologne, still very much at the thick of things here in the fight for third. You check Eric Monaco, just reeled in a half second on race leader Nathan Orman. On board with pole sitter Shelby Little as she tries to work the outside of the DuPont Chevrolet Chevy Silver, make that Toyota Tundra of Cologne. And outside line for Jack Cooper. Oh, the 40 is going to go up and get in the way, though. Gordon Neufeld playing spoiler to Cooper's party, and now it's finally Cologne that will be able to make up some speed from the inside line, being able to get around the lap traffic. Way at the back, Donnie Katnick and Colin Cropley battling for 19th and 20th. And you can now see the illumination of the lights that have clicked on over the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. And sure enough, we will be going and racing into the dusk. Under the lights. And look right behind race leader Nathan Orman. Ross McLeod and LJ Toledo also in a fight of their own. They're all scrapping it out at the moment. We're about 13 plays between themselves and Alex Benoit, but it looks like Toledo will be able to pull away a little bit, giving McLeod some breathing room. Well, giving Toledo a bit of breathing room. McLeod still has to worry about Benoit right behind him. Meanwhile, Chisholm, Stone, and York on the fierce fight for ninth. They're going to go 3 wide, I believe, out of turn number 2, where they at least thought about. Looks like Cynthia Stone bowed out in the last second on that deal. see by all the names fluctuating around on the left side of the timing tower that it is a very, very hectic race going on here at the moment at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. There's battles everywhere you look, including this one for P number 3 with James Winterbottom and Stephen Cologne trading hands down into turn 1. But not for long, as once again, Cologne working the outside line. Looks to me like that Series XM 20, though, has a lot of speed on the bottom end, so we'll see what James Winterbottom can do. He's just not able to get clear of it. He's so slow around the mid-corner on the bottom side. It allows Cologne to just reel himself right in, but I think he might have him this time out of 4. Well, spoke a bit too soon on that deal as the fight for third continues. $40 down, 40 to go from the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Ormond and Monaco are the top 2, just over a second apart. It's 5 seconds back to Winterbottom with Cologne, Little, York, Chisholm, Stone, and O'Brien rounding out the top 10. It's Brown, Hodak, Toledo, McLeod, Benning, Benke, Benoit, and Wheeler to round out the cars that are that are still on the lead lap. But of course, it looks like Benoit and Wheeler and Benke might not be on the lead lap for too long. And these two drivers still working at each other as they continue to scrap away for the final podium position. And now Jack Cooper, with all that side-by-side action, has brought himself back into the picture of this thing. And now Cologne up top with a huge head of steam out of 2, and he gets clear by the time they get to 3. Cologne tried and tried, and then finally paid off as he takes over 3rd. Looking back to Stone, O'Brien, Brown, and Hodak. '69 goes low to defend. Here comes Mitchell Hodak at the 42 on the top shelf. Yet again, too much speed on the bottom. Mitchell O'Brien dive bombs Cynthia Stone for 9th into turn 3. And there's race leader Nathan Orban now in the thick of lap traffic, trying to find a way through. Eric Monaco is the Home Depot truck that you see just in the distance there, and he is also trying to work himself through the same bout of mess. The challenge is short track race, and it never takes long to catch up to lap traffic, and races can be won or lost depending on how you manage it. Looks like the Mountain Dew Silverado, though, doing an excellent job as he's now building himself back up a 2-second advantage, but it only takes one lap car being a bit unaware to neutralize all of those 2 seconds, especially once Monaco eventually gets into clean air. Stone going after O'Brien into 1, or trying to defend, I should say, as the Speedco 35 takes it to the bottom. And Cynthia Stone really cost herself on exit there. She went a bit too close to the wall, had to lift off to avoid slamming into it. That allowed Michael Brown to get the upper hand, and now Hodak is in a similar position. Jack Cooper going up against James Winterbottom in the fight for 4th now. So Winterbottom has been steadily losing pace over time here, as we'll ride on board with Winterbottom for a little while here, and you'll already start to see a gap being built up to that Menards machine just up the road from him. Now we'll check in with some other guys in the top 10. We haven't seen Ryder Chisholm or Chris York in a while. This has been a steadily raging battle that has been kind of going back and forth a few times throughout the course of this race. You see Chisholm, the chaser, York, the leader, and this is going to be your fight for 7th place out there for the time being. Right on board, a look to the inside. Made an effort, but it was quickly covered off by the wasted whip 26. There's another thing we haven't mentioned so far throughout this race. Timothy Benning trying to go after Ross McLeod at the moment in his Caterpillar machine. Being said, though, these guys are pretty close going laps down themselves. You've got Austin Wheeler about 4 seconds back, and then it's the leaders. James Winterbottom has found the upper hand here. And we'll go around the outside of the 15 car of Chris Baskerville. That gives him a bit of space to work with over Shelby Little, who has so far lost he's lost the second most amount of spots Shelby has, down 5. And Alex Benoit has lost the most. He's down 12 positions where he started, so it has been an abysmal race for Benoit. Battle's really closed up here. Stephen Colon has actually made the pass for P2 here, and we'll get a look and see how this transpired. He just had more speed than 3 and 4 and took it away from Eric Monaco. But with them being in the thick of lap traffic, you know that that's going to be a battle that's not going away anytime soon. Tables get switched around a little bit here as Eric Monaco now looks at the inside, but he's not able to basically have the 51 car in his way. And don't look now, but Jack Cooper is also in the thick of this. You might more with him, and he's got the number 4 in his sights. Cooper wants to kick off his Stock Truck Cup season on a high note and get himself a podium from Nashville. Cooper to the inside, but he's got Alex Benoit in the way. It's not going to stop him, though, as you ride on board with Eric Monaco as he tries to fend off the 36 truck. You see the 36 up on the bottom. Sometimes the only reason why the 36 hasn't gotten through yet, though, is because of this Reese's truck right in front of him. But that's a great run on the outside line. And all of a sudden, Monaco's clear by 3. Top this all off, you've got James Winterbottom that has wanted to find a place. Well, let's go back and check in on Ross McLeod and Timothy Benning. You can see them starting to do battle once again with Racing the Name and Woman just at the back of Shaw, 72. Slinging his way around the outside line, trying to take it away from the 76. We saw that a couple of times in the late model race, so we know it's definitely a possibility, and he does clear by the time they get down into turn 3. We are very much into the final quarter of this race. There's a dive bomb. And Benning, just like that, gets back through. All that work that Ross McLeod did trying to work his way up seems to have been for naught. Now he's got a lot of work back ahead of him if he wants to make that spot up. not too much actual battles going on across the race course. This is one of the closest one between Cynthia Stone and Mitchell Hodak, separated by less than 0.2 of a second. And now the Linex Tundra going to go high and try to pick up another one from Dunder Mifflin there. Question is, can she get clear by 3? No, she can't. Hodak threw it in and hangs on. Even as these drivers, all the way back in 12th place now, are catching Chris Baskerville for the first time themselves, really shows how slow Baskerville is. He actually might be lapped twice before the end of this race. Colin Cropley has been having a battle of his own with Adam Katnick for a majority of this race. Katnick running the DuPont machine just up in front of him with the Silverado. Cropley himself in the number 51 DeWalt Tundra. One of the lead lap trucks there going to play spoiler and really get in the way. 36 of Jack Cooper, by the way, and Cooper himself is trying to fend off a charging Winterbottom using the Sirius XM machine right behind him. We hit 8 laps to go for your leaders. It's interesting, you got one bit of battling going on down at the bottom of the racetrack and another up on top. Oh, here we go. Winterbottom switching it up, trying to get underneath the 36, but well, they actually might get him here 1 and 2, but the DuPont machine is just holding him up so much. It's going to be rough if he wants to try to clear. He just can't, though. There's just no room to be able to do something like that. Regardless, Winterbottom is through on Cooper. Now he's going to look to the outside line. This is one of the closest grouping of trucks that we have so far, and that's just because we've got so many different battles on track, from lead lap cars to guys a lap down, all in one big order. Oh, Cooper getting way out of line there, and that's allowed Shelby Little to sneak up the inside down the backstretch. Little just trying to get back up into the top 5 after she started on pole position in her DoorDash machine. Got a feeling, though, that one's probably not going to happen. And it'll be looking like no pit stops required either. That was a bit of a question going into tonight, whether these stock trucks were going to need to fill up on gas. Looks like they will not have to, though, as we're 2 to go. Going to be 1 to go in just a little while. Cooper still battling it out with Little as they run down through turns 3 and 4. Final lap. The race leader, Nathan Orban. We will stay on this battle here. Take the white flag, though. Nathan Orban entering 3 and 4. What a run it's been from Nathan Orban. He will take the season opening win from the Nashville Fairgrounds. As one by one, the drivers going cycling across the line. What a race, though, that we have had so far here from the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. So far, that's 3 for 3 on entertaining races. And going to take a rundown of your official post-race results from the Stock Truck Cup. Nathan Ormond wins himself the first race of the season, with Stephen Colon down in second. You've got Monaco in third. Winterbottom rounds out fourth with Jack Cooper in fifth. Shelby Little is in sixth with Ryder Chisholm seventh. Chris York is eighth. Michael Brown was ninth. Mitchell O'Brien rounds at the top 10. Cynthia Stone was in 11th with LJ Toledo in 12th. Hodak was the 13th. Ross McLeod was the last driver on the lead lap, but even he was still all the way up in 14th place. From there you have Timothy Benning, Austin Wheeler, Veronica Benke, as well as Colin Cropley. Rounding out the top 20 is Donnie Katnick and Alex Benoit, followed by Gordon Dufeld and Chris Baskerville, finishing 2 and 3 laps down respectively. Once again, don't go away. We've got ourselves one final race tonight. Super Late Models going to be up next for their 80-lap race. We'll see you in 2. And once again, welcome back to Short Track Thunder at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Super Late Models about to hit the racing circuit as we get set for our final race tonight. 80 laps across 19 cars for what will be the fastest grouping of drivers going to be out for tonight's race. Going to take a look at, again, what the starting grid will be looking like for you here tonight, with Mitchell Hodak in first place on pole with Nathan Ormond beside him on that front row. Blake Mears is in third with Billy May down in fourth. LJ Toledo is in fifth with Ross Colbert in sixth. Jonah Tanner is seventh with Stephen Colon in eighth. Mitchell O'Brien is ninth. Jeff Wallace is 10th. Eric Monaco is in 11th. Ronald Pierce down in 12th. Moving on down through your field, we've got Mitchell O'Brien and Michael Brown with Colin Cropley in 15th and Timmy Richmond in 16th. AJ Thompson is 17th. Alex Benoit is at 18th, and it is Willard Burton, second off your pole sitter, to round out the starting grid for the Super Late Model division then here tonight. been a very, very long time coming so far for all of these drivers who have been really hunting to make this season, or make this opening event of Short Track Thunder a good one. And we'll see what these drivers will be able to do for 80 long laps as we go racing one last time around the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Pace car down and in. Here they come. Out of 4. Green flags out. Hodak takes us to it. And look at that launch from Mitchell Hodak as he is off and away like a rocket ship down the front straightaway out of turn number 4. The 80 car of Blake Mears trying to fend off Nathan Orman right behind with the fight for second place. Behind them, got the 96 up top of Jonah Tanner, working against Steven Colon. Already the field spreading out big time, especially deep. As we continue to pick our way laps. Top 3 already on a breakaway, but race leader clear by over a second. It is not going to be an easy run for a lot of these drivers if they want to try to get themselves all sorted then here tonight. Side by side for second place. Nathan Orman making the move on Blake Mears, and he's going to get through. Mears falls back to 3rd while they continue to scrap it out deeper in the field behind them. Down the back straightaway, looking at Jonah Tanner up top in the 0-2 machine. He just got around Eric Monaco, but Monaco fighting back from the low side. Trying to pinch down the 21 as we're off of turn number 2 once again, and this time he'll get clear down to turn number 3. Here's the 24 car, Jeff Wallace right behind them. He's also working the outside line, trying to bump Ronald Pierce backwards. Got Wallace in his Ayers machine, still looking strong on the inside line, running at about the 11th place and trying to close up to Pierce. He will get through the 96. Meanwhile, of LJ Toledo having to fend off Jonah Tanner, but looks like Tanner won't be able to make anything happen with Toledo for the time being. Up front, it's Dodge versus Toyota with Nathan Orman and Blake Mears going almost side by side for second place. The only drivers so far that have not moved up and down at all where they've started have been the top 3. Once again, this mid-pack is where all the action's at. It's where you don't want to look away from. As a look to the inside as Toledo tried to dive bomb Mitchell O'Brien there. He's actually going to switch over, though, and work the outside line. The 96 Mustang on a charge at the moment as he is going to get around the number 1. Oh, maybe not quite, though. It was a great try, and now he's having to wrestle with Ronald Pierce, who just got through. Now he wants to attack from the bottom. Looking to me like Pierce is starting to really hold some of these drivers up, and they're none too pleased about it. The number 1 car looking to the inside. Now it's the 95 on the offensive. how aggressive these guys are racing, it really does go to show that even on tracks as small as this, you have some of the best racing that Oval Race has to offer, especially with the super late models. These cars are just able to make moves that vehicles like the trucks or even the street stocks just wouldn't be able to make, because they're not able to get up to too much speed. But these guys have so much downforce. Unlike some of those cars, these cars were made solely to run on tracks exactly like this one, and you can absolutely tell by looking at how fast they go ripping through these high banked turns. Of course, this is the last race, unfortunately, that will be running here tonight, but we will be back with more at the Lucas Oil Raceway, where the Pro Late Model Series, the Stock Truck Cup, and the Super Late Model divisions will be having their second rounds, and we'll be seeing the first rounds of the Limited Modified Series, as well as the Gen 4 Challenge. So 5 races coming on up at the half-mile short track. Taking a look at some of the drivers we haven't focused on yet so far this race. Ross Colbert trying to fend off Billy May right behind. May running the 84 iRacing Chevrolet, looking to the outside line of Ross Colbert. Colbert trying to hang on from the bottom, but outside is where you want to be when it comes to these sorts of cars. They're trying to set up a run, but this time Billy May misses the mark, and Colbert drives through. Oh, he tried there. He actually tried to give him the bumper. He's going to switch up top, but the 51 still has too much speed. That was a bump and run attempt, though, from the 84 car. You couldn't get there, though. And look who's just arrived on scene. Ronald Pierce wants to party, but the 84 car all the way up top has the run on the 51 car through turn 4. Can he take this one into turn 1 as Pierce watches on from right behind? Answer is no, not yet. And it looks like now the 95 machine will be able to go on the offensive, and he'll take over the 6th position. Ronald Pierce, that 95 car, is on a charge right now. He is up 6 from where he started today, down in 13th. It looks like he wants to make that 7. Battles also on for second place here. Nathan Orman and Blake Mears starting to go at it. The Altel machine trying to go up against the Rowdy 18 with Stephen Colon just hanging around to the background. Caution flag is out on the Speedway, and it's a crash involving Jeff Wallace and Eric Monaco. Monaco, you see right in front of here as the yellow flag flies for the first time today. And that is the first crash we'll actually have today as well. The 45 car Hodak, still your leader. Looks like they, well, actually it does look as though Willard Burton did go a lap down. So Burton will most likely get the lucky dog free pass here and be able to get back up onto the lead lap. We'll have to wait and see on that front. That would come about, or maybe actually went a lap down after the yellow flag came out. That would be mighty unfortunate if that was the case. And oh, there he goes. Now he's getting the wave around. So the 34 car going to move around the outside, and that's going to put all 19 drivers back on the lead lap. Let's take a look at what just happened there to Eric Monaco and Jeff Wallace. Wallace in the 24, Monaco in the 21, 3 wide. Oh, and it was a turning there, and they get themselves moving again. But 3 into a corner doesn't tend to work out all that well. See, yeah, the 24 just tried to run his nose in there, and it did not at all pan out the way he was hoping for.
5 laps
Gonna ride on board with Jeff Wallace and see his perspective from all of this. I just pinched the 96 in too much and got up and into the 21 and sent him clean around. There's no other way to put that one. Gonna get one more look here with Jonah Tanner. Yeah, that was a rough hit there, but good thing that they managed to get around that all safe and sound. Gonna get one last look at things here, and I want to see if the 96 came up or if the 24 just fully turned down into him. It looked like it was the 24 pinching in the 96. Yeah, can't really say that the Gear Wrench 96 car did anything wrong there. That was all on Wallace there on that one, I'm afraid. We are under caution flag number 1. Mitchell Hodak had a really solid lead, but that might go away now that we are under our first official yellow flag for an actual crash of the season. Looks as though Wallace and Monaco didn't have too much damage. They're all back out on the racetrack. Nobody went a lap down, so we'll see how this will shake up, as it will be that AutoZone machine to take us around turn number 4. Bring us back to the green flag. Not nearly as good of a launch this time for Mitchell Hodak, as we're going to go 3 wide for a brief moment out of turn number 2. The number 1 car of O'Brien throwing it to the inside of Pearson. And Ross Colbert, Billy May also side by side right in front of them. Isn't good. It's stacking all these guys up, and we know what that will mean on once we get a bit more up to speed here. Top 4 pulling away. And just now, looks like everything will get settled down, so we will continue to pound some asphalt here as continue to gradually cycle around. Too wide, 2 rows deep on board with O'Brien as he continues to try to battle with Michael Brown, LJ Toledo, and Ronald Pierce. Going to last all that long, though. With Blake Mears, you can see him trying to close up to Nathan Orman. Orman, meanwhile, still keeping in touch with race leader Mitchell Hodak right up the road from him. And in the back here, the number 8 car going to go up to the top shelf, trying to get around Stephen Colon. Stephen Colon trying to get around Blake Mears, excuse me. But just not able to find the ground there to make any of that work. Going to look back here to the 24 car. You can see him with a lot of damage on the right front of that Aaron's 24 machine, but he is still doing a fine job on keeping steady. The 15 of A.J. Thompson up high. He's going to lose a place as 75 of Brown continues to pick his way back up to the field. He's just brought himself back up to where he started this race, which was in 14th, and now trying to see if he can do one better. Wallace still fighting the outside of O'Brien as well. Here comes that 75, though, wanted to make a difference. And Nathan Orman in a battle now with Stephen Colon that's caused them all to lose big touch with Hodak, who is way up the road. As these guys scrap for the podium positions, Colon up against Mears. Halfway point has come and gone as we continue to watch these guys duke it out. It's getting rough out there. You can see a lot of these drivers being very, very aggressive in the early goings, which is exactly what we want to see. Here's a pack of 4 at the moment. You've got Colbert, Richmond, O'Brien, Toledo, all within 0.3 of a second of each other at a short track, no less. That means quite literally nose to tail and side by side, which is exactly what these guys are, and they are not willing to let an inch go on this one. This battling is dragging in everybody else, though, so that's always something you have to try and keep in mind. Tell you what, the racing is good, though. It's constantly side by side. Exactly what you want to see, as Colbert really threw it in there on Richmond. But even this group, you can already see over this wider shot starting to space out, which is good. It's going to allow us to let some other speed trends feather out a little bit without these guys having to be caught up in traffic all the time. Looking at Blake Mears still in his battle with Stephen Colon, with Colon working the top and Mears down low. Dead heat. Braking zone of 1. These guys aren't the only ones battling it out. They've also got, as you can see, Ronald Pearson, Jonah Tanner duking it out right behind these guys. We're going to keep our eyes on this battle as the Altel Dodge Charger going up against Mears' Tire Pros Chevrolet up on the outside line, and these guys are not willing to let each other breathe. Both these drivers realize that if they yield, they might not get another opportunity to fight it out, so they got to settle this now. Races are not very long. I mean, 80 laps sounds like a long time, but if this had gone green, that would have been, I believe, just under a half hour worth of running. The truck race earlier was just under a half hour. The late model race was only 23 minutes. Street stock race under 20. Those races were with competition cautions. I mean, the laps really fly by at short tracks like these, which is the reason why most big events, they'll have at minimum 200 laps, sometimes as much as 400 to 500. Bumpy tracks is what you'll like. You're going to love Hickory Motor Speedway, which is the 3rd round. That's what we'll be seeing the stock division make their second round, and that'll also be the place where we'll see the Tour Modified Series coming into play for the first time in the short track Thunder season. Of course, that will carry across a wide variety of short tracks, including Iowa, South Boston, New Hampshire. Well, New Hampshire not really a short track, but that's where some of the bigger series will run, including both modified divisions, the Super Late models, the Gen 4 Challenge. Then we'll go to Langley, Myrtle Beach, Five Flags. The shortest track of the season will be the Bull Ring, USA International Speedway. Then it's Bristol, Thompson, Richmond, Lanier, Southern National, Stafford. And we wrap all of these guys' seasons up at the Martinsville Finals. Looking back to Ross Colbert, Timmy Richmond, and LJ Toledo. Battling it out for 8th on the racetrack in a 1. And to the outside goes Toledo, trying to make something on Colbert. Lap traffic for your second place runners sees Nathan Orman able to make the pass here on Stephen Colon. Make that vice versa. Orman going to take it back as Colon is just stuck behind Willard Burton. In fact, both these drivers are, and you can see that's really backing them up in here into Lake Mears. I mentioned earlier that these races will be decided on how you handle lap traffic, and it seems like both of these guys aren't the best. They're trying to figure their way through what's going to be live when they actually get right up to some proper lap traffic that you can see up the road there. Blake Mears is going to take full advantage of Orman's indecision. He'll sweep through into 3rd. Meanwhile, this is where your race leader is all huddled up then for the moment. It's Monaco, Brown, Thompson, and Benoit all in one big cluster here down the back straightaway, with race leader up on top of Kodak in the obstacle machine. Laps continue to gradually tick away though, and it won't be much longer before we see that white flag fly. Oh, a little bit of a pinch there from the number 1 of Mitchell O'Brien, trying to box in Timmy Richmond as they try to charge down Toledo up to the road. But Richmond will break clear in his number 50 car, and that will cause O'Brien to drop back. Blake Mears to the inside here of Nathan Orman as we continue to work our way through this 80-lap race and our final race of the night as Mears looks to the inside and executes the pass perfectly from Nathan Orman there. Now Orman is going to be having a rough go of things here as he tries to close back up and overtake the Altel machine, but hey, I think some of this lap traffic up here might have a helping hand in that. Ross Colbert is still being put under some heavy pressure here from the number 96, but he has been able to, so far, weather the storm excellently. Timmy Richmond having his own problems as O'Brien has finally executed that pass for the 10th place up on the racetrack. About the most spread out anybody so far has gotten all season long. Well, the 35 in the 21. Go at it. Monaco has not had a great race so far. He is down 4 positions, which is a big shame because Eric Monaco, when you look at the races prior to this one tonight, he has been doing excellently so far. He has been getting top 5s, podiums. Seems like the super late models, though, just not his style. I do think, though, he would be a ways up the road had it not been for that crash with Jeff Wallace earlier where Monaco got hooked. Battle for second between Cologne, Mears, Orman, and Tanner. About half a second among them. You can see Stephen Cologne up here in the number 8 car with Mears in the 80. And 15 car, AJ Thompson is, well, just in the way. Oh, there's a peek to the inside. Orman's going for it. Looks like will not, well, maybe you will to the inside of Mears in 1 and 2. If he can cling on corner exit here, he might be able to make it happen. And he does. Now with lap traffic on his outside. He'll be secure for a while now from Blake Mears as Jonah Tanner looks to the inside and tries to bump Miller down another. White flag in the air as Mitchell Hodak rounds the back straight for the final time today. He will enter 3 and 4. And it is Mitchell Hodak winning the season opener for the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. And with the last cars that will race tonight across the line, let's take a look at your official post-race results from the Super Late Model Division here tonight. It's Mitchell Hodak, race winner by 5.5 seconds over Stephen Cologne. That will leave the likes of Stephen Cologne in second, with Orman in third, Tanner fourth, with Blake Mears hanging on for 5th. Ronald Pierce, tried as he may, he'll have to settle for 6th place with Billy May a few seconds back from them in 7th. Ross Colbert was 8th. LJ Toledo is in 9th. Jeff Wallace collected in the crash early. Will round out the top 10. Mitchell O'Brien and Timmy Richmond are the last cars that were on the lead lap. There you got Colin Cropley, Eric Monaco, Mitchell O'Brien, Michael Brown, AJ Thompson, Alex Benoit, and Willard Burton rounding out the 19-car field. That's going to about do it then for us here from the Short Track Thunder, and hope you've enjoyed tonight's presentation. It's been an absolute joy, and this has been one heck of a way to kick off the Short Track Thunder season. We'll see you all hopefully next time when we go race at the Lucas Oil Raceway, where we'll be seeing the SK Modified, the Gen 4 Challenge out for the first time all season long. The Stock Truck Cup soon. We'll see you all there. From now, from Nashville, it's farewell.